Welcome back to the Money Show. Well, how important are commodities like gold or silver in retail investors' portfolio? Well, they are too expensive right now. And what's the best way you can really invest since they are expensive? Well, to break all of that and more, we are now joined by Vandana Trivedi, who's the head of institutional and passive business, Access AMC, joining us. Let's listen in.
Well, I'm now joined by Vandana Trivedi. She's the head of institutional and passive businesses at Access AMC. Vandana, thank you so much for joining us here today. I want to talk to you about the importance of commodities like gold and silver in a retail investor's portfolio. So just wanting to get your thoughts on why retail investors should have access to these precious metals.
Sure. So Sumit, see, retail investors are quite familiar with equity investing, I would suspect, with the kind of SIP flows that we are seeing in. Retail investors are also quite familiar with fixed income investing, either via debt mutual funds or via fixed deposits. Gold and silver are very important to add to your portfolio because they have very low correlation to, say, the equity markets and to some extent to debt markets as well. So what this means is that whenever you are seeing kind of a course correction in equity markets, it is these asset classes like gold and silver that kind of cushion that correction that you are seeing in your overall portfolio. And therefore, as a safe haven, if I may use that word, gold and silver are very, very relevant. The other thing is that inflation is a big worry for retail investors' balance sheets, their monthly profit and loss statements in their households that they do for central banks. Inflation, gold and silver are usually seen as great inflation hedges, particularly gold, which moves in tandem with inflation rates, and therefore it protects your portfolio from inflation. So to answer your question, why gold and silver in a retail investor's portfolio? Gold and silver in a retail investor's portfolio to offer you a kind of insurance against any kind of market volatility that you see, as well as to protect the portfolio from the ill effects of rising inflation.
Absolutely. But you know, one concern people have sometimes is that they feel maybe gold and silver is too expensive, so they don't want to get into it at this moment. What's your thought on that?
From a cost standpoint, I do agree that gold and silver is expensive. In fact, gold and silver have both had a fantastic run-up in the last 1 year. And in fact, I would say that if investors are looking at this run-up and they want to invest into gold and silver, it may not be a great idea, right? However, the point that I want to refer to or allude to is it really expensive at this level? Yes, they have run up. They are costly, but are they indeed expensive? Gold and silver today, in my opinion, are reflecting a certain change which is happening in the underlying environment around us, right? So there is a macroeconomic change which is underway. There are geopolitical tensions which are underway. There is a new world order that seems to be unfolding in front of us. And gold and silver, like I mentioned earlier, do fill in their responsibility of protecting investors' portfolios in periods of uncertainty. And therefore, there is a premium that has got built up to this unique feature of these asset classes in one investor's portfolio. And therefore, you would see that, you know, the prices may have gone up, but if they're not there as part of your portfolio, any time is as good as a time to invest in these asset classes.
For people that are looking to add gold and silver to their portfolio, what's an optimum, what's an ideal way for them to invest in the precious metals?
You know, there are multiple ways of investing in the precious metals, some which we are very, very familiar with, which is buying physical gold, which is buying physical silver. And obviously, you know, they come with their sense of satisfaction about having touched and felt that metal with you or that ornament with you. But they also come with some disadvantages like, you know, how efficiently can you store them? How safely can you store them? How expensive or not it is to store them and such things. More of logistical challenges. There is also the question of purity when it comes to, you know, buying physical assets. The other very efficient way of adding gold and silver to your portfolio, which can also actually be later converted, Sumit, into physical assets at a, you know, later point in time, is to adopt the financial way of investing into gold and silver. What I mean by that is there are numerous gold ETFs and silver ETFs that are available in the market, which you can go in and via your demat account buy in as units at any point in time. Mutual fund houses offer what are called as fund of funds, wherein you buy into a fund like you usually do with a mutual fund, and the fund in turn buys gold ETFs or silver ETFs, or there are also funds that offer you a combination of gold and silver ETFs.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Vandana, for your time and for shedding light on this important part of a person's financial portfolio. Thank you so much.